It's 3:31. We'll call the Tuesday, October 26th FARGODOME Authority meeting to order. Before we approve the minutes, any additions or revisions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So.
Second.
First by Mike, second by Troy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. On to number 1 then, approval of the September 28th FPA minutes.
Move to approve, Mr. Chair.
First by Mr. Supis.
Second.
Second by Nancy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. Any old business bring before the authority? Okay, we'll move on to number 3, new business, 3A, general manager's report.
All right, we'll start with the financials, page 3, for the month of September. As always, the month is on the left-hand side of the page. Year to date on the right-hand side. So for the month of September, we had 6 events with attendance of just about 46,500, compared to a budgeted attendance of 87,750. We had total event income of about 137,600, which is down about 191,000 from the budgeted event income of 328,500. And our indirect expenses were also slightly above budget, about 3,200 above budget at 390,300 compared to a budget of 387,000. So for the month of September, we had a net deficit of 125,000 compared to a budget of an $84,000 surplus. The main things leading up to that, as we talked at length for 2021, when we did the budgeting back in May of 2020, we were thinking, hoping, praying, betting, whatever, that 2021 would be in a better position than we were. Event-wise, but so the concerts really have not materialized, and we had budgeted 8 concerts. So we're running another concert through the budget for the month of September. There will be one more above that to go through in October. NDSU football, about 47,500 below budget. That's 2 football games. Attendance has been a little lower, and we've also had higher staffing expenses, particularly on the post-clean side of things, as we discussed at our June and July, I believe in August meetings, how with the labor market we've had to raise our pay 30+%, and that's what we're seeing as far as it. Plus, the other challenge we're having is the third-party labor companies really aren't able to, I think it's starting to get a little bit better, but have had difficulty filling the full calls that we've asked for. If we ask for 65, 70 people, we might get 30, or we might get 20. So it takes longer, but also it doesn't get done all in one day. So they have to come back and do it. Well, now you're subject to that whole startup, slowdown or ending burn that you have, and inefficiencies. You're subject to the 3 and 4 hour minimums each time. So they're working hard to figure it out and do different things, but it's not like anybody else is having a lot of success for it, so we're still fighting the fight that everybody else is doing and getting by as best as we can, and also looking to the future to try to figure out, see if we need to change some game planning, things such as that. On the theater side, we also had run one more budgeted theater event through that did not occur, so that was at 12,000. And then 2,700 below budget on the convention miscellaneous. With the career fair was consistent with budget through NDSU with the Fargo Marathon. Below budget, that's more staffing, shortened hours, different things such as that. On the operation, the expense side, general administrative, we're still under budget. On the 4,000, the ops expenses, about 31,000 over budget. Both the Excel rate increase and a very warm September, so a lot more energy use. However, you may have seen that the PSC did not approve the full requested rate hike, so there will be somewhat of a rebate coming back from Excel. Also, a lot of higher equipment expense with repairs, different things. We noticed some, nothing serious, but some things in the catwalk with some structural beams, so we had it checked out by both higher engineering and some X-raying, but everything is fine. It was determined to be fine by the engineering crew, but obviously that has added expense. Any questions on the month of September? Just one last note on that then too is, as Susan mentioned at last week's meeting, there's still about $380,000 of the SVOG grant to run through. That'll run through either in November or December with the utility and staffing payments on that. Year to date then, we've had 38 events with attendance of 184,500, about 143,000 below budget. We've had total event income of just over $1 million compared to a budget of about $2.15 million. We have had expenses of just over $3,100,000, but that is a little over $200,000 below our budgeted $3,340,000. So we have a net surplus because of the SVOG grant of that $2.5 million compared to a budget of $82,000. So significantly ahead, but it is due to makeup of the last 18 months of lost activity in the grant fund from that. Any questions on any of the financials?
Yes, sir.
Just have a question, just kind of related to this, but also looking forward. So we're through basically most of our year. In 2021, we approved our budget for 22 back in July or whenever it might have been, June, July, something like that.
April, May. Thank you, State of North Dakota.
And so, you know, given we're probably not experiencing the level of concerts and that type of thing that we even thought this year, is there any thought to where we're going to be at next year? I know it's a ways off there, but kind of relates to the fact that we had 8 scheduled for this year. We ended up with, what, 1 or 2, something like that. So how about looking forward, is any thought given to where we might be in 22?
Yes, there's been thought given. Thank you. And moving on.
So, I mean, are we aware of any concerts we are anticipating that have already been canceled?
No. 2022 right now is, well, it's in quotes, but a normalized year. All of our normal things our normally scheduled things are scheduled to happen. I will say that they are all shrinking their time, which is a good thing to a certain degree, between when they announce and go on sale and when it happens. You know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, even more 90s was when you'd announce a concert and then have it 6 weeks later. The trend in the last 5 years has been to announce a concert and have it 3 years later, even without a postponement from COVID. But now they're kind of back to that. It's a short window because they're still the tours, everything are still trying to source things. There's family shows that are out there. I will say that we have one family show that may or may not happen at the time we currently have it scheduled, due to sourcing issues, but also contractual issues. I think what you're going to see in the first 4 to 6 months of the year, first half, is some more smaller shows in that 4,000 to 8,000 capacity. Things I've been hearing in the industry and the conversations, our agencies and management are as things, I mean, we're downslide again, but they're saying, you know, the big superstars kind of maybe holding off the first quarter, part of the second quarter. This time, I know they said it last year too, but this time they think it's going to be a pretty busy shed season in the summer, and then roll on from there. And that's kind of what I'm seeing hold-wise, request-wise, but we still have a lot of events. Frankly, we've got Easter weekend open, and we've got a weekend open in January, and we have one other weekend open between the first of the year, and Rick Fest, 2 other weekends. Now that might mean it might just be a Friday event or a Saturday, but not. So it's we have a lot of things coming up, and I think the next 30 days we'll have a different conversation in 30 days, potentially. Or it'll all go to hell in a handbasket like it already has, and it'll all go away.
That's a good point, though. I mean, you look at September, if that run rate is normal for expenses, I mean, we would need 2 more football games to break even. We had 2 football games and a marathon.
And I will say, regarding just the September, the football games, we are seeing a decrease in butts in the seats.
Yeah.
As I said before, though, it's great to have even 15,000 in the building, 14,000 in the building. This isn't data from NDSU. This is my own looking at it. 8 to 12% no-show rate right now, which is actually below average for what a lot of concerts and a lot of professional teams are seeing. There's professional teams out there seeing as high as a 30% no-show rate. It runs more in that 15 to 25%. Is for the conversations I'm having with the different groups. You've got hockey teams, depending upon location, that have went from 40% of their ticket sales at an event are group sales to they haven't sold a group ticket now. And it just depends upon the markets as well and the different policies.
Yeah.
So it's not, we're on the way to recovery. We haven't recovered.
Yeah.
So don't believe what the articles say, but we're definitely so far ahead of where we were even in May of this year, that it truly is, for industries like this and buildings like this, just it's only positive at this point in time.
Okay, Rick?
Chair, I move to approve the September 2021 financial report.
Okay, we got a motion by Rick.
Second.
Second by Dave. Roll call.
Troy?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Did you think about it?
You made a motion.
Okay.
Dramatic pause.
All right, past and upcoming events, page 12. Since our last meeting, which I believe is September 28th, we've had a couple of Sanford Health flu and COVID vaccination blitzes, both inside and outside the building. Had a lot of football in the building. A new group or a new person running it from Carrington, but it was kind of the same teams with what we used to call Lisbon Youth Football was in here on Sunday the 3rd. Obviously, we had NDSU homecoming with a great win over Northern Iowa on the 9th, and then followed up with another full day of youth FM athletics, youth football on the 10th. Took the turf out briefly with the big one, Arts and Craft Fair. You know, some people may not have liked it, but it was actually a pretty good feeling to kind of just stand on the concourse and overlook the floor and actually see pretty full aisles of people shopping, vendors selling things, a lot of gift bags coming out of the building. Again, like I said, for us right now, it's only positive. So it's good to see that, great attendance at that event. Then this past weekend, NDSU with another great win against Missouri State, very capable and powerful football team. And then another full day of FM athletics this past Sunday, leading us up to today. So we've been pretty busy. Any questions, comments, concerns from the group for past events? Again, I'll just point out it hasn't always been a huge event or a big thing, but we've actually had something going on in the building or in the building, on the building proper every weekend since Labor Day. So we're back up and running that way. Moving forward now, again this Saturday we have NDSU hosting Indiana State, and then we run into more football. It's going to be great to see the Minnesota section football games back next Thursday, Friday, the 5th and 6th. We have the Dakota Bowl on the 12th, and then leading up to the home finale, NDSU versus South Dakota on November 20th. Questions on any upcoming? Oh, I forgot the Simon and Garfunkel story in the Gate City Bank Theater. So actually, that'll make the return on November 9th. I'll blame Amanda, she didn't put the November calendar in there.
I just said that to you. I was like, I didn't put the upcoming one.
But yeah, so, again, we're busy, we got a lot of events going on. Are they all 19, 20,000 marquee events? No, but we've had a crap load of those in our 29-year history. And all events are good, so it's great to have people here.
Nice work.
Any other questions of me? Otherwise, that would end my report.
Okay. Move on to 3B committee reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of items here. Item A, September financial reports. We reviewed those earlier by Rob and approved those, so we'll move on to B, project and capital budget updates. Just a couple of items here. The dressing room and catering room remodel is finally completed, and it's a plus. Canopy project, the repair and maintenance out there, that has also been completed. The fire alarm replacement throughout the facility is ongoing and should be completed by the end of December. With that, I asked Rob to take a look at the sole source procurement request for the turf, and I'm going to let Rob talk about that. We'll take a separate motion on that.
Certainly. So the paperwork for that starts on page 17 of your packet. It's the standard City of Fargo purchasing policy, which the Fargo purchasing policy mirrors. The reason this is sole source is we are only replacing the football surface, the synthetic turf surface, if you will. We're not replacing the full mechanical. There will be a mechanical inspection with this, but there is there'll be some changes, but this is just the turf. As a reminder, when we replaced the system in 2012, it was also with AstroTurf. That was a $2.7 million project because the mechanical side is that $1.5 million different area. This is also a system that, in conversations with the other leading turf provider, they don't do this. They kind of left it. AstroTurf kind of has the market cornered for this type of a system. So as you can see, the carpet synthetic turf portion is $913,000. As I mentioned at the Building and Finance Committee, there will be additional dollars with this because of some mechanical changes. I would anticipate, and I apologize, they've not been able to give me a real firm number, although they're setting up another time to come out possibly in November to do another review of mechanical. I'm seeing this going to be a 1.1, 1.2-ish total project, which is still less than half the last time around. And this would take place, replacement of this would be June and early July 2022. I will also note that since the approval was received at both the Building and Finance Committees of the FARGODOME Authority, this did go in front of the City of Fargo Finance Committee on Monday and was also approved.
So,
any questions? I mean, just, I thought, Rob, I know in here, now you may have mentioned this, but there's a extended warranty on this as well, and some of the fixes that we've noticed, maybe just address that just real briefly.
Yeah, they've changed their warranty. Our turf we have now actually has a 6 or 8 year warranty on it, and AstroTurf has been very good working through the issues as everything's learned on this project. I will say that of these systems that they have in place, the FARGODOME one is used the most, that the United States AstroTurf team is familiar with as far as going in and out. So there are things that they learned from this project, so we're trying to design this next system that they can come in every second or third year and actually just replace the leader, whether we're having issues or not. Kind of a preventative maintenance thing to help strengthen it. They're going to use a stiffer, stronger, if you will, backing on the turf that holds the whole system together. They're also looking at the rope winches on the north end, the 11 rope winches to see if they remain hydraulic or if we go to electric motors to try to get the evening poles or adjusting things. So there is an 8-year warranty that will cover a lot of that as well.
okay. So from the authority, we'd be looking for a motion to approve the sole source bid from AstroTurf Corporation to replace the turf for $913,209.
If I may?
Yes.
And I think part of that too, the budget request was $1.1 million for the budget request.
Okay.
To be paid for out of the capital fund.
Or the surplus.
Excess capital, that's surplus.
Okay, good.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
First by Rick, second by Dave. Roll call.
Troy,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
You notice you didn't hesitate that one.
Did not.
Thank you.
With that, the last item that I have is the escrow balance and performance report. We did receive the August 21 report at the Finance and Building Committee meetings. Through August 20, or August 21, the return has been 2.65%. So all good news there. And with that, I'd like to, I'd make a motion to approve the finance report.
Okay,
Finance Committee, Finance and Building Committee report.
thank you. Move right to the roll call.
Troy,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, 3C. No
Hey, that's me.
samples.
Amanda covered this, so not only did she not put in the November calendar, just saying. But so this is a request from the Piggy BBQ. If you're not familiar with their location, they're in West Fargo. I think actually just on Veterans Boulevard there, south of the Costco location. I'm sure every business over there hates it when they get the free advertising for Costco. Oh, it's just south of Costco. So they've only been in business in West Fargo. I believe they opened up perfect time for a restaurant right before the whole pandemic thing started. But they've been in West Fargo for about 2 years, but they've been in Walker for over 6 years. They actually are a partner with NDSU, and they were out here this past August to do a catered event for NDSU athletics. As far as I know, everything went well, seemed to go well. Again, it's just another one that would be there. They've been in the restaurant business for quite some time, whether it's been through a national corporate location, national chain like the Cheesecake Factory, or on their own, working at Chase on the Lake, or with their barbecue, Wilbur's and Piggies in Walker. The only thing I will note, item 15, they have said they want to sell alcohol here. I have no problem with you approving it. I will just tell you that right now I have to have more conversations with the city of Fargo, because their license is actually a West Fargo license. So I don't know what they can do to be, they would have to make sure they're licensed properly in the city of Fargo to serve alcohol up here. There are things that we can do using our license and liability with our staffing. So we'll work that out. But other than that, I see no issue. If there are questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I will request a motion to approve.
What would be an example of an event where they would serve?
Alcohol?
Yeah. Like a corporate,
Wedding.
Wedding, corporate function, corporate meeting.
They're just-
Bell
they're
Bank
a
comes up
caterer.
here for their,
Yeah.
Bell Bank comes up there for their classic Halloween party.
Dress up as
Yeah.
bankers.
We just had-
Dressed as bankers with a tie, you know, the old style.
Gonna say that.
There's just no limit, is there? I would
Don't
make
put
a
the ball
motion
in
that
the
we
tee and give me
approve
iron,
Yeah.
right?
Piggy BBQ as a caterer for this
Okay, we got a first by
institution.
Nancy,
Second.
second by Troy.
I feel shunned, don't you?
Is this roll call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Troy,
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
Rick,
I agree.
Blake.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, Blake.
Yes.
Stop going.
I was chatting, sorry about that.
Mike.
Mike and David.
Yes.
Okay.
Blake, you control your
Thank you.
meeting.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, is there anything else? We're good with the order. Yes, we're adjourned. Thanks for coming.